Just leaving flagship for a harm tour, please. Thanks, sir.
You're all right, Eliza. You're all right.
Right, good afternoon folks, welcome aboard the JDM. If you're looking across the HMS Warrior, the big black ship here with the 3 masts, this was the first of our iron hull warships. Built in 1859 on the River Lee, commissioned in 1860. It was built on an 18-inch thick Burma teak frame that after they bolt iron plates onto. It was steam powered as well as sail. In its day considered so formidable, nobody could go anywhere near the ship. It never even got to fire a shot in anger. It was the pride of Queen Victoria's fleet. It was the head of the Red Fleet back in the day when we had 3 fleets, the red, the white and the blue. HMS Warrior was built by a company called the Thames Iron Works. They had their own little football team. Over the years, that team becomes West Ham. This is why their nickname is the Hammers, or the Irons, because of the Thames Iron Works. Keep looking over the starboard side, the side that the Warrior is, please, because for the first half of the harbour tour, everything we're going to look at is over the right-hand side there.
Stay sat down. Stay sat down just that side.
Okay, just over to the right of us here is a large red brick building with a stone tower. It's called Semaphore Tower. It's home to our Queen's Harbour Masters. We call them the QHF for short. They have total control of every vessel's movement in and around this port, from the smallest workboats right up to the largest of the cross-channel ferries. They keep watch with radar and CCTV.
Sit down.
And they've got these guys here, police launchers, patrolling 24 hours a day. Now, this back in April of 1956, tied up right here on this jetty, side by side were 3 huge Russian warships. And on board one of them was President Khrushchev. This is the last time a very famous British naval diver, they called him Buster Crabbe, was seen alive, acting against the wishes of the then Prime Minister. MI6 ordered the diver to dive between these Russian ships. Well, he's never seen again. We accuse the Russians of foul play. They just accuse us of spying. But they always deny any involvement in this man's disappearance. The reason they called it South Railway Jetty was the blue building here was the waiting room of a Victorian railway station. It was the end of the line for troop trains, supply trains, the very occasional oil train. Because this is Victory Jetty, you do get a glimpse of victory from here, but wait till we're on our way back, when you cross the other side of the harbour and you get the best look. But she doesn't look her best because she's 12 years into a 20-year-long restoration project. 12 years ago they realised that this ship had gradually been sinking backwards about 1.25 inches every year. And if they didn't stop it, it's going to fall back into itself. So they start by lightening the ship up, and they then prop the ship up inside and out. They've replaced rotten and decaying timbers throughout the ship. Again, they're lightening it up by removing the
worried about dropping my phone out there.
Replace them with fiberglass mugs. There's little things like there's 23 miles of rope on board that ship. It's not easy to be swapped for a lighter alternative. So loads of little things all put together will help to restore this ship. And they say, when they finish in 8 years' time, they say it's going to be good for another 100. Oh, hold on. anchors in the water. Let me just pull out a little bit. Just noticed the barge just pulled up alongside the carrier. Look, they've got divers going down big ships here. So this is Prince of Wales, second of the QEC, Queen Elizabeth class carriers, largest vessels ever built for the Navy, mostly built in Ross Island. 65,000 tons, 280 metres long, 39 metres wide at the waterline, 73 metres wide up on the top deck. Built to fly, well, a full quota of aircraft is 36, but if they were in a wartime situation, they can deal with 72 aircraft. Crew complement, 700 people. Now there's purpose-built sleeping quarters for 250 Royal Marine Commander and their equipment. Now, add pilots, air crew, technicians, you've got 1,600 people on board the carrier, reaching speeds of 25 knots, operational range 10,000 miles. So if you're not quite sure about how fast the ship goes, just say the Navy told the carrier to leave port on Monday morning and make its way at cruising speed to America. Every 24 hours, she will cover 500 nautical miles. Okay, we're coming up to the north corner. This was really significant in Napoleonic times. Portsmouth Harbour was naturally very, very shallow. You couldn't bring ships into the port back then. You had to leave them outside in the deep water anchorages at Spithead and then row yourself into them. Now when you got here to the north corner, every time the tide went out, the whole harbour in front of us would dry away, leaving miles of marshland and mudbanks. We had thousands of prisoners of war. Most of them were Dutch from the Dutch wars. So we make them dig it all out by hand. It takes years for these guys to do this. More mud was dug from here by hand than the whole workings, both sides and including digging out the Channel Tunnel, have been achieved with machinery. If this wasn't enough, there's 5 huge dry docks over here. Look at these long black gates with yellow railings stretching all the way over to the tugboats. They all lead back into a 30-acre lagoon. We said dig that lot out as well. When they finish over there, they line the floor with bricks. They let the water flow back in, so you can keep it high tide inside there, even when it's low tide outside here. But just look at this little ship here, please, the Mersey T283. We have 3 of them. They are batch 1 river-class patrol vessels. Look on the funnel of the ship at that blue and yellow pennant. If you see any ship in the EU sporting that pennant, they work for fisheries protection. So our guys patrol British waters, keeping an eye on foreign and home fishermen alike. They make sure everyone adheres to the rules governing the fishing. Okay, let's head down to the destroyer in front of us. Now this destroyer was taken out of service 7 months ago. This is booked in advance. Every 6 years. We've got 6 of these destroyers, so that's why every 6 years one of them gets taken out for refit. A refit is like a serious MOT and a major service for the ship. I don't exaggerate when I tell you that they take the ship out of service altogether, so it's not even part of the Navy. It goes into a dry dock and they start by ultrasounding the hull.
You can see it.
And then they go through that ship inside out, top to bottom. The radar, both parts, and the black tower, brand new. All the weapon systems were taken off, sent away, recalibrated, brought back, put back on. The paint, inside out, top to bottom, the whole ship. The engines have been gone through, the generators, they don't miss a thing. If they find a few screws that dropped out of a door lock that they're put back in, it's that in-depth. And they call it refit. when they hand that ship back in 4 months' time, it will have been upgraded.
Shiloh.
It used to have 48 missiles. They just added another 8 because the ones they had, the anti-ship missiles, were getting up to their sell-by date. They'd already extended them. So they've got rid of them. Now they've got the most up-to-date ones. It's loads of little things that will keep the ship absolutely top of the game. Now, there's a decommissioned frigate here. Look at it. It looks terrible because they've stripped this ship of anything that could possibly be used on another ship. It's the old Monmouth. Now this ship had quite a history to it. First of all, it was the only ship in the Navy that's name was painted. If you look on the destroyer, see the name was painted in red. The Monmouth was the only one painted in black, and it was allowed to fly the black flag. If you want to really go into it, read up about the Duke of Monmouth, why he was called the black. So this is
Sit down.
now it was
Come
a
here.
submarine hunter, a Duke class Type 23. We have 13 of them. Now we've got 12. Now, just because they're submarine hunters, that's not all they do. These ships have been involved in every theatre of operation you throw at them. They've had great success at anti-piracy patrols around the world. Same level of success looking for drug runners. They actually have competitions between each other who can take the most, and I think, I'm sure the last record was 178 million of crystal meth and Pacific somewhere. I'm sure it's like 178 million. But they love it. They absolutely love chasing it.
Sit back.
Look at the top of the ship split into sections. The gaps are fire breaks. Just say that middle block caught fire. Maybe they can shut the block down, top to bottom throughout the ship. Fight that